I want to cover it quickly here. I'll run through it. You can also watch the Pincommerce training if you want to see a more in-depth version of this. But some of you will not have seen this yet, and it's sort of an update on how we manage all of our businesses. Man, we tried LeanKit, Mavenlink, Podio, and Basecamp, and a couple others. We've kind of been through a lot of task management systems, and essentially we spend more time entering and managing the tasks than actually doing stuff. And so now we've kind of moved to this system of managing our workflow, and it's called Slack. And what Slack is it's a sort of combination between Dropbox and Skype. So it's file sharing and it's messaging, it's team communication. And so you can have these things called channels, and you can have different channels for different conversations. So you can see that what we're looking at is a development channel, and you see Nick and I talking about certain things with regard to development, like, hey, the footer's broken, here's this thing. And we have all of our conversations about development in that channel. We share our files related to development in this channel. I've got an approvals channel up there where anytime there's something to approve, if Boris has a new piece of content to release, or if Nick has a new page coded, he drops it in the approvals channel, and then I look at it. A Blue Ribbon Mastermind channel. We have all these different channels, and then it also does private messaging between users. So you can have private messaging, you can have private channels. You'll see that I've got one up there called Blogs Worth Watching, and what I've got in that channel, it's free, by the way. I think it's free for like the first 2 users. And then it's like, I don't know, it's pretty cheap, $6 a user a month or something. Blogs Worth Watching, it drops in every time one of my favorite blogs posts a post. It just drops into that channel for me. So I never have to go look at my blogs anymore. They all come into this channel, and once a week for an hour, I read through it. I see what I want to read, and I catch up on what's been going on in the world that I'm interested in, which is e-commerce and marketing and stuff like that. And it does direct messaging and file sharing and stuff like that. And the other thing that we use is Evernote. So basically, we have these team meetings twice a week, sometimes not even that many times, but usually twice a week. And on the team meeting, we do bullet points for that day of what needs to happen and who's doing it. And then we talk about those things in Slack. And then we have the next team meeting and we say, okay, did this thing get done? Okay, no. Then it's got to go on to this week's bullet list. And we're just using bullet lists and Slack, and we're more productive than we've ever been. So with regard to managing your workflow, what needs to happen, who's going to do it, and when. That's all you need to know. Meet with your group, whoever you're working with. If it's just you by yourself, meet with yourself once a week. Do this, make a bullet list, or twice a week, and then use Slack to talk to yourself. Hopefully you've got someone who you're working with. And it'll really, get rid of all the, sort of extra crap that you don't need. The other thing that I want you to do is limit your appointment availability. Stop it. Stop talking to people all the time. You need to be implementing stuff, right? You don't need to be in meetings all the time. So I've really drastically cut down my appointment availability. I'm only available for appointments on one day of the week. That's it. I got my appointments that I do one day of the week, and those are usually with people in the Blue Ribbon Masterminds, usually who I talk to, and maybe if I need to talk to press people or I don't know, new people, whatever. But usually I'm only having conversations with people one day a week, and then I've got my calls, which are on Thursday. So on Thursday, I might have a community mastermind call, or I might have a one-on-one with someone, or I might have a Blue Ribbon Mastermind call. But I essentially, have really limited the ability to get a hold of me. And what happens is people who you really need to talk to will get a hold of you, right? You will end up talking to them at that time, but it really frees up your schedule if you don't just have like a call here and a call there and a call here. So you really want to be sort of protective of your time and limit how easy it is to get a hold of you. Create a barrier between you and people trying to get a hold of you, some kind of a way that it's done so that it only happens on one day per week at a certain time, and it'll really free you up to get stuff done. And the other thing that I recommend is scheduling strategy time. So what I'm responsible for in all my businesses, and I think because I just love it so much, is the strategy, right? I'm not responsible for the development. I'm not responsible for the design. I'm not responsible for the content. I'm not responsible for a lot of stuff, but I am responsible for strategy, and I really like that role. And I think that likely for your business, if you're on this call, if you're part of the e-commerce community, you are likely responsible for strategy in your business. What are you even doing here, and why are you doing it? And what are you trying to accomplish? And what things are in place and what things do you need in place? And you should really kind of review your strategy once a week. And that's really kind of what our team meetings are generally about. It's like, what the heck are we doing, guys? What are we doing this week? What are we trying to get done by when? And you've got to have strategy time. If you're just busy doing all the time, you may be working in the wrong direction. You may be moving really fast and really well in the wrong direction. And this whole thing, like, just take action, just do stuff, really not a good strategy, right? Because action in the wrong direction doesn't get you anywhere. So you definitely want to take action, and you definitely want to do things, but you also want it to be calculated. You want to take calculated action. So I'd really like you to have at least one time per week that you're reviewing the strategy of your business and what what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve and what strategy is in place to make that happen.